Many of us know that it's not unusual to see today TW or trigger warning on a syllabus or on social media to alert us that the content we're about to see may include references to issues or ideas or stories that could trigger trauma. But Joseph's family got no such warning when they found themselves standing in front of the brother they had sold into slavery. And Joseph got no such warning when his family arrived in Egypt, convinced that there was no possibility that he would be alive. He even tested them in their stated purpose to find relief from the famine. Eventually, the trigger of being reunited with his family and his oppressors sets off the trauma physically for Joseph. He weeps so loudly that people can't help but notice, and his brothers are silent in terror. Trauma changes us, not only spiritually but physically, affecting our thoughts, our feelings, and our bodies. And living out our faith, even in times of deep distress, must include space and the grace for a physical response. But what happens next in this story is not quite what we have come to expect from the trigger warnings of today. Instead of silence, resistance, or separating into opposite sides, there's love and forgiveness and understanding and reconciliation and healing and restoration. And there is space for the pain of trauma to be acknowledged in a visceral way, and there's space for Joseph to name the trauma and to name his process of healing in front of his family. While Western methods of therapy and counseling are most often focused on individual healing, this example pushes us to consider how God can bring about the healing of communities. And that brings us to another dimension of this story, and maybe a missed opportunity. The fact of the story of Joseph being sold into slavery by his own family, finding healing and coming into power to ultimately save his people, became a hit Broadway musical is perhaps the happiest ending to a story with an already improbable happy ending. But we all know that not everything in life ends in a neat, tidy bow. Joseph used the power he gained in Egypt to save his family, but in the process he also consolidated power for Pharaoh. This man who was himself once enslaved contributed to a system that used enslaved labor to enrich the powerful. And this part of the story makes me consider how my sense of justice sometimes becomes too narrow and too limited to the people and the places that I hold nearest and dearest. Joseph's open arms and the forgiveness of and reconciliation with his family should inspire us all. But I can't help but wonder how different things could have turned out had that love and care extended beyond just his family to the Israelites and the Canaanites. It's something to think about. My challenge to you this week is to ask yourself how your love and influence can be forces for good, not only in your immediate family, but also in your community, in your country, in your world.